Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel.
Today we are diving into River Valley to check out the latest new launches. Think of it as a midpoint update. We'll talk about what's hot and what's not, and everything you need to know about the current market.
Okay, so here's a quick overview of the River Valley map. Among the recent projects here, we have Robertson Opus, which is the only 999-year tenure, which is pretty rare, right? Yeah. And then next up, we have actually Promenade Peak and River Green, which are 99-year leasehold, and these two were launched around the same time. So honestly, they sold really well, and we'll dive deeper into the details and share with you more why this was such a big hit.
Next, we have an upcoming project, Zyon Grand, which will be opening for preview on 17 October. In addition, there is also River Modern and also River Valley Parcel C. So in total, there are 6 parcels in this area. Out of these, Robertson Opus is the only development on a privately held land bank, while the remaining 5 are GLS sites. So this distinction plays a significant role in how prices are set. And we'll be discussing this further later on to assess whether the upcoming launches are worth considering, essentially whether a go or no go.
So right now, we'll be taking a look at the master plan, focusing on the areas where recent and upcoming projects are located or soon to be available on the market. So to provide some context, we'll provide 2 master plans, the 2008 one and the 2019 one. So back in 2008, you can see here, the parcels were actually all zone purple, which is designated for hotel use. However, in 2019, the master plan was updated and revised. So the color coding was changed to orange, representing residential use, and pink, which indicates residential and also commercial on the first story. So this shift in zoning has opened up new opportunities for residential development, which is why we are now seeing all these new projects come to the market.
Yeah, it actually appears that the government strategy has been to release multiple land plots within the same area, so with the intention of gradually increasing the residential population there. So this suggests a deliberate effort to intensify development and also grow the community by making more sites available for sale. Alongside this, infrastructure improvements were also being introduced. For instance, the completion of the Thomson East Coast Line. So connectivity in the area will be significantly enhanced. And with these transport upgrades, right, combined with the release of new residential plots, this reflects a broader plan to make the area more vibrant and livable.
So if you notice, right, over here previously, which is the hotel plot, right now is actually Promenade Peak, and then this will be the upcoming Zyon Grand. So as you look in this area, you'll notice that River Green is now connected to a newly introduced Green Park connector, which previously wasn't available. So this highlights the government efforts to make the neighborhood more livable, going beyond the concrete jungle and integrating green spaces and recreational pathways.
And here in the red is the parcel designated for River Modern, which will feature commercial units on the first story, bringing added convenience to the residents. So just nearby, we also have Parcel C, which is currently at the stage where the land has been released for sale, but no bidding has taken place yet. Looking ahead, based on the strong demand and take-up rate of River Green, it's very likely that the bidding for Parcel C will be competitive once it begins. So after all, if River Green sold so well in this same area, there will be a strong indication that Parcel C will also attract similar interest. So later we'll share more on the details of River Green's impressive take-up rate to give you guys a clearer picture of the market response.
Okay, next we'll take a look at Robertson Opus. When it first launched, the project actually achieved 41% of sales at launch, with an average of $3,360 PSF. So this premium pricing is largely attributed to its 999-year leasehold tenure, which naturally commands a higher value compared to a typical 99-year leasehold project in this area. So buyers who purchase at Robertson Opus generally do it for legacy planning as well as own stay purposes rather for investment. So the reason is actually quite straightforward. While you pay a premium for a 999-year leasehold property, rental income actually remains quite comparable to that of a 99-year leasehold unit. So this results in lower rental yield, making it less attractive for pure investment purposes.
And from a buyer's perspective, most individuals, including ourselves, naturally seek properties that provide better value for money and also stronger rental returns. So in the case of Robertson Opus, so we have observed that larger unit types seem to have a higher take-up rate, while the smaller units remain unsold. So this is quite the opposite of the trends that we have seen in the recent launches, such as River Green, where smaller units are sold quickly, also because of their affordability and the lower quantum.
Yep.
So we'll deep dive deeper into River Green's performance shortly to highlight this contrasting buyers' behavior. Okay, so looking at the buyer profile of Robertson Opus, right, the red segment on the chart represents the proportion of local buyers. So if you can see from here, the majority of purchasers, right, are Singaporeans and permanent residents. So this trend is primarily driven by the ABSD that currently stands at 60% for foreign buyers. So this significant barrier will naturally limit foreign participation into the luxury property segment.
So now we are moving on to the current post-launch availability. So often we always discuss about the projects that were launched and what are their expectations in our previous video, but today we'll actually focus on what is available in the market. So we'll start with the 3-bedroom premium units. The take-up rate has been very strong because this actually features a highly functional family-friendly layout, which includes a home shelter, flexi room, as well as well-proportioned bedrooms, spacious living area, and an enclosed kitchen, which is quite important nowadays. So if you can see from here at approximately 1152 square feet, the unit is competitively priced at 3.72 million starting from, making it a compelling reason for families seeking long-term residence in River Valley. So given its layout and amenities, it offers a modern family, everything a modern family would need, while being situated in a highly desirable location. So let's put pricing into perspective. We can compare Robertson Opus with Promenade Peak. At Promenade Peak, the 3-bedroom suite measures at approximately 1163 square feet. So this is actually similarly sized to the 3-bedroom premium at Robertson Opus.
Yeah, so the key difference that we see here lies in the product positioning. So at Promenade Peak, units in the suites collection comes with a private lift, offering an added level of exclusivity and privacy. In contrast, Robertson Opus does not feature a private lift for its 3-bedroom units. So looking at the floor plans, Robertson Opus includes a flexi room, which adds versatility for families. It can function as a study, a guest room, or even a utility space. However, it's important to note that at Robertson Opus, this particular unit is located on the 2nd floor. So this limits its views, and most units either face another block within the development or the neighboring buildings. But whereas for Promenade Peak, right, it offers high floor living with all suites collection units situated above the 43rd story. So this specific unit that we are comparing here is located on the 54th floor, providing expansive views and also a sense of elevation that Robertson Opus cannot match. So in terms of pricing, the difference in the quantum is less than 100,000, which is relatively marginal for this price segment. The decision ultimately comes down to what you value more. So if tenure and long-term legacy planning are your priorities, then the 999-year leasehold at Robertson Opus will be more compelling. But if views, exclusivity, and also premium features such as the private lift matter more, then Promenade Peak will of course be a better choice.
Yep. So for buyers prioritizing view and lifestyle, Promenade Peak will be definitely more appealing as it is closer to the amenities and MRT station. However, Robertson Opus is still a short walk to Fort Canning MRT on the downtown line, making it convenient but slightly less central. So essentially, there's actually two groups of buyers. Each of them will have their own preferences or what they value the most. So you're getting a comparable size unit at 999-year lease, which is increasingly rare in today's market. For those considering long-term own stay property, this is a compelling opportunity at the current market peak. So ultimately, it actually boils down to your personal preference.
Definitely, the choice comes down a lot to personal preference. So if you have any questions or would like further insights regarding Robertson Opus or any other project that we have discussed, feel free to reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to give you a detailed guidance and also help you make an informed decision.
Yep.
Okay, so moving on to River Green by Wing Tai, the project set a remarkable record, achieving 88% sales on the launch day with an average price of 3,130 per square feet. So a total of 1,464 booking checks were collected. So this actually reflected quite a high demand. So the launch day was reportedly to be very hectic due to the overwhelming interest.
So actually the success of River Green is largely attributed to the quantum strategy. So River Green actually offers smaller unit sizes, so it's appealing to both owner-occupiers and investors. From an investment perspective, the smaller units actually allow buyers to achieve higher rental use, since rental rates in the area remain comparable regardless of the unit size. So to give you a clearer picture, the PSF started around 2,750 for the more affordable units, while the highest PSF actually reached 3,600. So although the PSF is relatively high, but because the units are smaller, this actually kept the overall quantum within an affordable range, which is the major factor driving the strong sales of River Green.
Later on, we will be providing a comparison between Promenade Peak's Balance Unit and River Green, including an estimation of what you can expect in terms of price and its unit size. So focusing on River Green, as we mentioned earlier, the development primarily attract investor buyers. The majority of sales were concentrated in the 1-bedroom plus study and 2-bedroom premium units. So for example, the 2-bedroom premium units recorded 126 transactions, whereas the larger unit type saw significantly fewer sales. So this pattern reinforces the observation that buyers at River Green are largely investment orientated, drawn to the smaller units that offer a more attractive quantum and a stronger potential rental yield. On to Promenade Peak by All Green, the project achieved 54% sales on launch day at an average price of 3,343 PSF with approximately 800 booking checks collected. So one unique feature of Promenade Peak was its placement system. So it's different from the traditional launches whereby you have a ballot system. So in this placement system, right, the buyers can select their preferred unit within a specific time frame. So for example, if multiple buyers choose the same unit, then they will have to compete for it. But otherwise, if not, then a buyer could secure their desired unit directly. So this system offered a real opportunity to select the ideal unit without relying on your luck in the queue ballot number.
So actually comparing it to River Green, we observed that more buyers were actually submitting checks for River Green, likely due to the smaller sizes and the lower quantum, which make it attractive to investors. In contrast, Promenade Peak appealed more to owner-occupiers who prioritize unit size and lifestyle over pure investment tactics. So although the units at Promenade Peak are slightly larger, the price difference is comparable to around $100,000 to $200,000. And this mostly attributes to the size rather than the PSF, since the PSF at Promenade Peak is actually slightly lower than River Green. So the pricing strategy reflects the development's focus on long-term residents seeking space, comfort, rather than purely investment-driven buyers.
So one key observation at Promenade Peak is that the 2-bed, 2-bath units sold faster than the 2+ study units. So the reason lies in the layout. So the 2+ study units, right, have a non-enclosable study and a long, awkward entrance foyer, which actually resulted in wasted space. While one might assume that the extra space will appeal to own-stay buyers, in this case, 2-bedroom units offered a more practical and functional layout, making it a more attractive choice. So on the launch day, 151 2-bedroom units were sold, while the 2+ study sold about 38 units. Further highlighting buyer preference for functional and livable layouts over additional and less practical space.
So for families considering for their own stay, the 3-bedroom units at Promenade Peak, measuring 1,033 square feet, are particularly appealing. They offer spacious and practical layouts, and they also sold 61 units on the launch day. Now, in comparison to River Green's 4-bedroom units, right, which are actually smaller at 980 square feet, although it's actually marketed as a 4-bedroom, some of the common rooms are actually very compact. So you can't even fit a queen-size bed into some of the rooms. So for families considering own stay, the 3-bedroom units at Promenade Peak, measuring 1033 square feet, are particularly appealing. So they offer a spacious and practical layout, and actually 61 units were sold on launch day. Now, in comparison to River Green's 4-bedroom unit, which are slightly smaller at 980 square feet, although it's marketed as 4-bedroom, but actually some of the rooms are very compact. And in practice, many buyers may actually combine the rooms or adjust the layout just to make it livable. Therefore, for families prioritizing space, layout, and overall livability, the Promenade Peak 3-bedroom might actually be more comfortable and a more practical option.
Yeah, so at River Green, right, although the units we mentioned are marketed like 4 bedrooms, so 3 of the common bedrooms are quite small.
Yeah.
The sizes are 7, 8, and 9 square meters. So actually at 7 square meter, right, it's super small. Even the queen size bed, like you cannot even, after putting a queen size bed, you can't even put like a built-in wardrobe.
Yeah.
So in the show flat, actually, the developer combined one of the smaller rooms with the master bedroom. So actually, this means that even you see, if it's advertised as a 4-bedroom unit, right, it functions more like a 3 plus study unit. So this may not actually provide a actual comfortable space for families that has 2 or even 3 children. So even the walls are hackable, but this also involves extra costs and effort lah.
Yeah. So in conclusion, for families seeking a livable own stay home, Promenade Peak offers more practical layouts and better overall functionality. And then looking ahead, the upcoming Zyon Grand promises good size units that may be suitable for own stay. So though we only have actually a few sizes for now, because the floor plans will only be made available next month to us. So for buyers interested in the 3-bedroom units with private lift, options in the market are actually quite limited now. The closest comparison we have in the River Valley area are actually Trillium and Avenir, but these are actually both freehold projects. So because of the tenure, right, the freehold tenure, these developments carry a price premium. Additionally, both are actually pre-harmonized, so it results in less efficient floor plans and some unusable space. In our professional opinion, for families seeking livable layouts, privacy, and the convenience of a private lift, a 3-bedroom suites collection at Promenade Peak will be the standout option in this area.
Yeah, and for Zyon Grand, private lifts are available starting from the 4 to 5-bedroom unit types, which naturally brings in a higher quantum. So for families seeking luxury space and convenience, the 5-bedroom units represents a potential sweet spot for entering the market, as there are limited units available and demand is expected to be quite strong. So to provide some context, we can compare Promenade Peak and River Green in terms of investment. We looked at the units of similar size, around 527 square feet. At Promenade Peak, this corresponds to a 1-bedroom plus study. Whereas at River Green, for the same size, you can get a 2-bed, 1-bath unit. So both have reasonably sized bedrooms, with the master at 10 square meter and a common bedroom at 9 square meter.
So despite River Green's higher PSF at 3326, the overall quantum of 1.753 million is actually slightly lower than the Promenade Peak unit by roughly about $100,000. So given the efficient layout, hackable walls, 2 proper bedrooms, River Green provides better flexibility for potential rental yield. For an investor, the layout advantage and the slightly lower quantum is actually quite a compelling choice. However, post-launch, there's quite limited units remaining in both developments. So buyers and investors looking to enter in this area need to act decisively.
Next, let's take a closer look at the upcoming project, Zyon Grand. So this development is located just behind Promenade Peak, with the nearest MRT being Havelock MRT. So this area is highly livable. So why I say so is because with the convenient access to amenities such as Tiong Bahru Market and other neighborhood facilities. So its central location combines the convenience of city living with a neighborhood feel, so making it more attractive for local families seeking a home in a well-connected yet comfortable environment. Yeah. Now let's move on to take a look at the land parcel and layout for Zyon Grand itself. So for the upcoming Zyon Grand, the price per square foot is positioned competitively at approximately 1,202 PSF PPR. So comparing it to River Modern at 1,420 and Promenade Peak at 1,304. So this represents a 200 PSF difference, giving Zyon Grand a pricing advantage as they are considered the parcel A in the Zyon area, which was bidded prior to Promenade Peak, which already launched. So by launching later, right, the developers have a clearer understanding of market acceptability and buyers' preferences in this area. So the unit sizes are intermediate between River Green and Promenade Peak, so it offers a balanced option in terms of space and quantum, which we will see a strong entry point for buyers.
Okay, so for Zyon Grand, additional amenities include a commercial on the first story, which includes childcare facilities, a supermarket and restaurants, making the development very self-contained and highly livable. And it will be developed by CDL. There will be 2 towers of 62 stories each and a 36-story service apartment block. In total, there will be 706 units and it will be a 99-year development. So the unit types will be from 1 bedroom plus study all the way up to 5 bedroom units with 2 penthouses. The unit distribution show fewer smaller units and a greater focus on 2 and 3 bedroom layouts. So it reflects the developer's emphasis on livable spaces for owner-occupiers rather than for investors. And given the ABSD impact, Zyon Grand is likely to appeal to upgraders and owner-occupiers from nearby areas like Dawson or Tiong Bahru, where all your $1 million HDBs are located. So it's for those who are seeking out a more central location while cashing out from their HDBs. The size, layout, and quantum has been carefully designed to be attractive, attainable to this demographic, making Zyon Grand a compelling choice for families looking to move into a central, well-connected, and highly livable area.
Okay, so in summary, Zyon Grand will be the 4th major launch in the River Valley area, which we have seen very strong take-up rates. So with well-sized units and a competitive PSF, it is poised to attract significant interest, particularly from buyers that miss out on River Green. So overall, we expect Zyon Grand to generate strong demand among upgraders and owner-occupiers looking for central and convenient living.
So if you're interested in any of the developments we have discussed today, or would like a preview on the upcoming Zyon Grand launch, which is slated to preview on the 17th of October, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be happy to provide more information and guide you through your different options. By reaching out to us, you'll also be the first to receive updates when we have further details on Zyon Grand. So that's it for us, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye!